Now, we all want to progress in life. We all want to get to the next level. But have you ever really sat back and enjoyed what you do have, as much or as little as it may be? So, do you know the term lifestyle creep? Now, they say every time you're about to level up, you experience a lot of turbulence. A lot of things start happening. One of those things that could be happening is a test of your faith, to see if you really believe that you will overcome what is going on. Now, I mentioned the term lifestyle creep. With most people, as they accumulate more wealth, more financial freedom and things like that, their lifestyle, tends to change. Now, while it's understandable to have more money, you're gonna buy more things or live a little bit more lavishly. Maybe you're not ready to hit that next pinnacle. Sometimes we have to just sit back and be thankful for where we are in life. Even the fact that we're still amongst the living on this earth in itself is a blessing, which sometimes a lot of us can take that for granted. Now, I can speak personally on the lifestyle creep subject. So, as some of you may know, I do traveling as a job, travel contract work. And I started doing that because I wasn't getting by, working locally back home. And yeah, as I started making more money, I fell into the trap of starting to buy more lavish things. Not even lavish, but just buying more things, than normal. And I feel like a lot of people could be able to relate to that. So if you don't know, as you travel, um, you get per diem, which is paid to you. Some companies pay it daily, some companies pay it weekly, and it's not a part of your paycheck. It's not taxed or anything like that, and it's money to help you, eat. So me personally, um, when I was beginning traveling, that's when I was introduced to stock options and things like that. And I figured if I have the means, why not? You know the saying, right? Scared money don't make money, right? And even trading options with, some of my per diem money, I was learning, and at the same time, if when I would hit, I would stretch my money. Or like if I lost, it wasn't a big deal, because I still had my paycheck coming. Then as far as the paychecks, I was making more money than I was locally. So I was kind of I was kind of in the best of both worlds, for real. Traveling the country, experiencing different places for free and getting paid while doing it. But, anybody that knows, my situation now, I was kind of forced to take a seat, so to speak. So I've been here in North Dakota now for a little over 2 years, and I had to sign on with the company because the traveling contract was terminated last summer. So everybody that I've came here with, like 97% of them are gone, on the other ventures or different locations, whatever the case. But I'm still here. No per diem anymore, which is fine. I don't care. But with the job knowing that I don't live here, they pretty much let me work as much as I want to. And when I started doing it, I was okay. And then, I started the YouTube channel and things like that. But I was still so focused on work, trying to get by and things like that. And now eventually I'm just like, I'm to the point to where if we have a slow night at work and they just say, okay, well, you could either go into a different department to work or you could leave. I'm just leaving. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm tired. I'm kind of stressed. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Things ain't really panning out the way I envisioned, and it's it's a part of life. Things happen. So at this point, I got about 6 weeks left with this situation, and I gotta get away for a little while. I need to clear my mind or whatever. And I'm not gonna blame anybody but myself. I fell into the trap with lifestyle creep and things like that. I was just in the mindset of trying to change my future, which obviously with this channel that could do that. I wanted it fast. And while I embraced the journey completely, I wanted more progress sooner. And we can't really want that quick fame, quick money, whatever the case. You know the saying, anything that's worth having is worth fighting for? Like, that couldn't be more true, at least in my case. And I know this video is a little bit out of the ordinary. And I'm not even gonna lie, I get pretty good views on these type of videos. We could all put on a front for the camera, for social media and whatever the case, but at the end of the day, it's literally just social media / entertainment for the most part. But at this phase in life, I have to sit back, reflect, do a little bit more soul searching and really try to come up with a new plan and just work towards that. So no, I'm not gonna quit this YouTube or anything like that. Yes, it's hard seeing other people blow up, people that may have started after you, people that, just people gravitate to more than you, but at the end of the day, everything is a lesson. Everything happens for a reason, believe it or not. And sometimes we don't know what the reason is. We could only make, a guess at the ultimate outcome or the truth behind why things are happening. But we also have to reflect on ourselves. We have to think about some of the choices we have made. And nobody's has made perfect choices. Nobody's life is perfect. So once again, if your life was perfect, is it worth living? Or better yet, I should say, are you really living if you have a perfect life? If you've never had to go through any type of situations, if you've never had to experience any type of negativity or stuff like that, what would your character really be if you didn't? You get what I'm saying? How would you really know what you're capable of if you've never had to show your strength? I feel like I'm starting to ramble a little bit, so we're gonna end this video here. Everybody take care, stay blessed, stay elevated. I'll see you in the next one. Salute.